Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
What's going on, brothers? What's going on? Hey, I got a question for you. You ever heard of the Israelites before?
What?
You ever heard of the Israelites before? You in a hurry? Okay. You ever heard of the Israelites before, my brother? No? Okay. All right, the Israelites, God chose his people. The Jews. I know you heard about the Jews before, right? What do you know about the Jews? Who are they? Okay, it's cool, bro. It's cool. That's why we out here. Jews, give me John 18 and 20. Yeah. All right, give me that real quick. So I'm gonna build with you. What's your name, bro? Akeem. I'm Matt. All right, read that.
John chapter 18 and verse 20. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple.
So Christ is telling us something. He says he spake openly to the world. He ever taught in the synagogues. A synagogue would be like a gathering, a sanctuary, or a temple. Okay? Read this again from the top. Watch this.
Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews.
Where who?
The Jews.
The who?
The Jews always resort.
All right. So read the first part of that. I'm gonna show you something.
And Jesus answered him. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world.
To the who?
To the world.
Give me John 3:16 real quick.
No.
All right, so you said, well, I asked you who the Jews were. You said you didn't know. So we went to that scripture to show you that when Jesus Christ walked the earth, he only taught to those people.
Right.
Okay, so I'm about to show you something else. We showed you a little bit, now we're going to take it up a little notch. All right, my brother? Read this.
John chapter 3 and verse 16.
Come on.
For God so loved the world.
God loved who?
The world.
The who?
The world.
All right, you smart, a king, because you're an Israelite. That's how I know you smart.
Right.
So back at John 18 and 20, he referred to the Jews as what? Don't worry, we got it right here. We can always read it again.
Yeah, read it again.
Yeah, I got you. All right, read it again. John 18 and 20. Watch this.
The book of John chapter 18 verse 20. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world.
He spake openly to who?
The world.
The what?
The world.
Watch this.
I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews.
Whether the who?
The Jews.
The who?
The Jews.
Come on.
Always resort.
Go back to John 3:16. Read that.
John 3 verse 16. For God so loved the world.
Who's the world, the king? Who is it?
Yeah.
The who?
Jews.
The
Yeah,
Jews.
that's right.
You see that thing? Exactly, bro. Our people don't know that. You know why? Isaiah 29 and 13, man.
No.
Our people have been taught wrong. That's why you like, why is these dudes, why these grown men out here, what is it, 7, 8 o'clock, on the corner, teaching the Bible?
Right.
Because it was prophesied that in these last days, the Most High God will pour out His Spirit on us.
Right.
And we will rise up and teach the oracles of God.
Right.
You understand? Because you don't normally see stuff like this. All right, but watch this. I'm going to show you why our people think He's talking about Everybody when he say the world. I'm going to show you. Watch this.
Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
All right. So Isaiah is talking about us, the Israelites, during the Babylonian captivity. Say, as much as these people draw near to God with their mouth. Who that's talking about? That's talking about us, bro. We the people who draw near to God with our mouth. We say we love God, but we'll rob you. We love God, but we'll sleep with your wife. You understand? Or we'll abuse your kids. Read this again.
Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me.
Now, you tell me something, my brother. Say you got a young daughter, right? You got any kids? All right, how many kids you got? 2. All right, we'll just deal with a real life situation. So you say you love your child, right? But when you see your child, you lock them up in a basement, right? And you only feed them 5 times a week. And then whenever you let them see the light of day, you verbally abuse them. And then after they're done running around, you put them back in the basement. Is that love? No, that's not love. So check this out. If God says, give me Leviticus 19 and 17. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you something real quick. Okay? So you just said, there's no way that that's showing love to your child by treating him like that, right? All right, watch this. This is out of the mouth of God. Let's see what he says. Watch this.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right, so God commands the so-called black and Hispanic man who are the Israelites or the Jews today. He says what?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
He says we shouldn't hate each other, right? So, give me 1 John 4 and 20. Give me 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. Now watch this. Make some sense out of this for me, as if I didn't know. I want you to explain it. So God just said, thou shalt not hate thy brother. All right, read that.
1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God.
So a lot of people say what? We love God with our mouth, right? Read this again.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
And does what?
And hateth his brother.
Read.
He is a liar.
He is a what?
He is a liar.
Hey, but don't a lot of people do that today, my brother? Yeah. You see that, right? What's that called? Hypocrisy. Right. That's called hypocrisy, right? Who we learn that from? Give me Matthew 15 and 7. Who do we learn these things from, man? Think about it. If we just read in the Bible, real simple, real quick, that's hypocrisy, how can we keep doing the same thing over and over again? Right. Why we do that?
Well, I guess what we don't heard.
What we don't heard. What's been passed down from generation to generation. Right. That's exactly right. Watch this.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 7.
Come on.
Ye hypocrites.
Ye what?
Ye hypocrites.
Christ called them type of people hypocrites. The people you learn from. But mom and daddy, I don't think we should be doing that. Child, hush your mouth. This is how I was raised, so you're going to do the same thing. Right. No. Read it again.
Ye hypocrites. Well did Isaiah prophesy of you.
Read.
Saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth.
He said, hey, Isaiah, what should we just read in Isaiah 29? Prophesied of you. Okay? Christ is just confirming that thing. Read.
And honoreth me with their lips.
They honor God with their lips. Read.
But their heart is far from me.
But their heart, that's going into their mind, my brother. Their mind is far from God. They'll say they love God, but when God say, thou shalt not hate, hey, it's not just about throwing a punch or pulling out a pistol. It's going into robbing. It's going into dealing justly with people. Right. You understand? Love is going into a plethora of different things. Read.
But in vain they do worship me.
In vain meaning what? When they go to church on Sunday, that ain't profiting nothing. They doing that in vain because they say they love you, but their actions show otherwise. Right. Read.
Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
You see, that's why when I ask you that question, why we keep doing the same thing, is because our parents and their parents and their parents and their parents, they keep teaching the doctrines of men. Right. That's why we out here. We out here to wake up the true worshipers of Christ. Give me that in John the 4th chapter. Y'all know what I want. Was it 4:20? The true worshipers. Find that for me. That's why we out here. We're not out here for the followers of man anymore. God is calling us unto repentance. Right. Give me John 4:20. Just read it.
John chapter 4 and verse 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
So this is going into the sister at Jacob's well. This is going into the northern kingdom sister, the Samaritan sister. So she's saying, what are you talking about? Our fathers, meaning what? The father of the northern kingdom of Israel and the father of the southern kingdom of Israel. I'm going to show you something real quick. A lot of people think that, you know, when it comes to the Hispanics, Native Americans, and blacks like us, they think we different. No. According to the Bible, we all one people. Right. So it says right here, Judah, American blacks, Benjamin, West Indians, Ephraim, Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, Cubans. So when you hear things like Samaria in the Bible, when you hear things like Ephraim in the Bible, those are talking about the Israelites, just under a different name. Right. So when we read this in its context, you can understand what it's talking about, my brother. Read on.
Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
You see that? Christ is talking to the northern kingdom sister, the sister of Ephraim. He's saying the hour's gonna come when, hey, you ain't gonna be worshiping here at the mount nor in Jerusalem. Meaning what? There's gonna come a day when the Romans would come and sack Jerusalem. That day came and passed. That happened in 70 AD. Right. That is an historical event showing you what, my brother? That this Bible is a history book. Yes. And it's not everybody's history. It's our history. Right. Read. Watch this.
Ye worship, ye know not what.
I want you to pay attention to this part. Watch this. You too, my brother. Pay attention to this.
Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship.
Now the Jews, those are the ones who continue to keep the laws. How you doing, my brother? We would be known as the Jews today, okay? But hey, are we living like the Jews? No, because we're following idols, right. Like white Jesus, like Islam, like Buddha. We follow everything except the one true Savior, the one true God. Right. Read.
We know what we worship.
Now he says right there, the Jews knew who they worshiped because at that time, they still kept the laws of God. So they knew who they worshiped. Read.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Now, do y'all believe in salvation? Because that word Jew keeps coming up the second time. This is why I'm going to these precepts for you, brother. Do you believe in salvation? You don't? Okay. What about you? You don't know? You say you don't know? All right, watch this. Read that again.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Come on.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers.
When the what?
When the true worshipers.
The true worshipers. That's why we out here. We out here fishing for the true worshipers. Read.
Shall worship the Father in spirit.
The Father in spirit. Read.
And in truth.
And in truth. So we're going to get to that. But he says something. You say you don't believe in salvation. What do you believe in? Huh?
What I believe in. I believe in Christianity, but for y'all, that's a lot.
No, I mean, I'll just say this. It ain't to me. It's to the Bible that's a lot. Right. Show me that Christ is white in this Bible, then we can rap. That's what I'm saying. Christianity teach white Jesus. So when y'all can show me that Christ is white in the Bible, then there's a discussion. But yes, until y'all can show that, Christianity is garbage and it is a lie. I just said, show me that Christ is white in the Bible. That's what I said. You heard that. So show me that. Can you? Hey, check out that flyer, bro. You got anything for me, my brother? Can you show me that Christ is a white man in the Bible? No, you can't. So that means Christianity is a lie. So, now that you have learned that Christianity is a lie, we're going to show you something real quick. Give me the book of 1 Peter chapter 4. 1 Peter 4. No, give me Malachi chapter 4 real quick, then go back to 1 Peter 4. Show you a few things, my brother. And hopefully you could believe.
Right.
Because you said you don't believe in the Bible, you believe in Christianity, right? Okay, so read this real quick.
Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1.
Come on.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
All right, so there's going to come a day, bro, when all of this, like we see it ain't going to be like this no more.
Right.
Do you believe that a little bit? All right, so that's what we can build. So that day's coming. That's the day of the Lord. That's coming when Christ is coming back to defeat the nations and deliver the righteous. Read.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
So it says, all the proud and all of them that do wickedly shall be as stubble. Now, I'm going to show you something. It's a prophecy. Give me the book of Job 11 and 6 real quick. I'm going to give you a little prophecy to show you exactly who the proud are. You understand? Watch this. Come on. Job 11 and 6.
Job chapter 11 and verse 6. And that he will show thee, and that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom.
All right, so Job right here, through the Spirit of Christ, it says that he will show us the secret of wisdom. Read.
That they are double.
That they are what?
That they are double.
All right, so there's instances in these scriptures when it may be talking about something during that time period, but it's also talking about something future as a prophecy, okay? All right, give me the book of Ezekiel 28:2. All right, because it said in Malachi 4 that in that day, the prophesying of the day of the Lord, it's the proud, they're going to be the stubble. Watch this.
Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 2.
Come on.
Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up.
All right, so that happens with a lot of kings. Those who are in power. That happens with a lot of people. But it says the prince of Tyrus at this point. But we're going to show you who else that it's talking about. Read it again from the top.
Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God.
They said what?
I am God.
All right, so we're going to go right here. We're going to go right here. So the prince of Tyrus said he is God. But you got to understand, who on earth said that in this day and age?
Bring it out.
You got to get, hold that, give me 1 Maccabees 3:48.
Yeah.
Who said that in this day and age, my brother? Watch this.
1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
So my brother, this is the book of the law. This is the Bible, also known as the book of the law. Read.
Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of.
So when it says heathen, that's anybody outside of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
So when it comes to the so-called white man, they are heathen. When it comes to the so-called African, they are heathen.
Right.
When it comes to the so-called Chinese, they are heathens.
Right.
Read this again from the top.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness.
Has sought to do what?
To paint the likeness.
Think about this, my brother. If somebody saw you, right? So, and then they put up a painting board, got their utensils, all that good stuff, and they wanted to paint the likeness of you. What does that mean? Yeah. They want to paint you. So watch this. Read it again.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen.
The who?
The heathen.
Do you know who the heathen were in the time of the Maccabees? I'll show you. Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse, let me see. 1, yeah, 1 and 1. Watch this.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, and that he reigned in his stead for the first over Greece.
Over who?
Over Greece.
Over who?
Over Greece.
Who comes from Greece? What color people? Who are they? No. Grecian. Think of Greco-Romans. Yeah. You ever heard of the Greco-Roman Empire? In history, you ever heard of that in school?
I ain't never heard of Greco.
Okay. So the Greeks, you ever heard of all civilization began in Greece? Or you heard that? There you go. So that ring a bell for you. Those people, Greek mythology. You heard about. What color are those people?
the white.
The white people.
Right.
There you go. Now it resonates with you. Now you can understand this. Go back to 1 Maccabees 3 and 48. Watch this.
1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48.
Come on.
And laid open the book of the law,
The book of the law. Read.
wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Of what?
Of their images.
So when they read about Moses, guess what they did? They put up a portrait and painted Moses, but it didn't look like the real Moses.
Bring it out.
It looked like them, their pale skin. You understand that, right?
Representation of what they think God was.
Of what they think, but not what the Bible actually says.
Right.
Give me Daniel 7 and 9. Daniel chapter 7 and 9, because we're going to show you what God looked like in the Bible. We're going to show you that. Watch this, Daniel 7 and 9. Come on.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days. The only person that could be is the Most High God. Because he has no beginning nor end. The Ancient of Days. Read.
Whose garment was white as snow.
So this is showing us what? A lot of people say he's a spirit. Why does a spirit need to put on a garment?
Right.
Because a garment is clothing, right? So it's showing us what? The Father, remember what it said in Genesis? Let us make man in our image. That was Christ and the angels talking to the Father.
Right.
Okay? Meaning what? God has a body. Read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow,
Read.
and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like what?
The pure wool.
Last time I checked, the Grecians or the Greeks, their hair ain't woolly.
Right.
His hair is woolly, so is yours.
Right.
You understand? So that's another strike against them. Read.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
So this is going into his chariot. Now, it says that the Most High God, had woolly hair, right? Let's see what Christ said. Give me John 14 and 9. Watch this. Give me John chapter 14, verse 9 real quick. This is stuff our people don't know, okay? Read that.
John chapter 14 and verse 9. Jesus saith unto him,
So this is the words of Jesus Christ. While he was on the earth, while Jesus was on the earth, do you think anybody saw him?
Yeah.
I'll ask it again. That's Christianity.
Right.
So when Jesus walked the earth, do you think anybody saw him?
The flame was.
Okay, how did they nail him to the cross?
Right.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You sound crazy. So let me ask you again. When Christ walked the earth, could anybody see him? All right, give me 1 Corinthians 15.
Bring it out.
Give me that. Let me show you. And I'm not mad at you, but that's why we're here. We're here to educate.
Right.
Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and verse, start at 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 3. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day.
He's confirming what Christ prophesied and what he did. He rose on the third day. Read.
According to the scriptures.
According to what?
The scriptures.
Now I want you to listen real close, all right? Watch this.
And that he was seen.
If you've seen somebody, what does that mean?
Out.
You're looking at him, right? All right, read it again.
And that he was seen.
Who's the he right here in verse 5? It says, and that he was seen. Who's Paul talking about? Talking about who? Okay, read it again.
And that he was seen of Cephas and of the 12.
So he was seen of by his 12 disciples. So that means they saw him. When what? When he was where? When he was walking the earth.
Yes.
Read on.
After that, he was seen of above 500 brethren.
So not just them, he was seen by above 500 brethren. Remember, Christ did miracles before the hundreds.
Right.
Okay, and you read about that in the Gospels. Do you agree? Okay, read.
Above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep.
It says, hey, some of those people who saw Christ at that time, they are dead and passed away. That's what Paul's saying right there. So now, go back to John 14 and 9. All right? John chapter 14, verse 9. All right? So if you got a willing heart, you can receive it right now.
Right.
Because this is not us This is the words of God. That's why we're telling you don't follow Christianity, because you can't prove it in the Bible. We're telling you to follow God. You understand? Read this.
John chapter 14 and verse 9. Jesus saith unto him, have I been so long time with you?
So Christ is saying, haven't I been so long time with you, bro? I've been on the earth going on 33 years. Come on. I've been around with you now. I've been walking the earth with you. Read.
And yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
And yet hast thou not known me, Philip. Read.
He that had seen me.
It says what?
He that had seen me.
So now the next question. Did Philip see Christ? Yes, he did. He just said, you've been walking this long time with me. So it says, if we walking together down the street, you think there you go. You get what I'm saying now, right? You get it now, though. It'll make sense to begin. I got you. I'm with you. I'm not here to confuse you, bro. All right? Read it again for the top.
Jesus saith unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that had seen me had seen the Father.
Read that part again.
He that had seen me had seen the Father.
You see that? It says, he that have seen Christ has seen the Father. Right. Give me that in Hebrews 1 and 3, I believe it is. Or 1 and 2, one of them. If you see Christ, you are looking at the Father. Watch this. Start at 2.
Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son.
His Son is Jesus the Christ. Watch this.
Whom he appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory.
Who being the brightness of his glory. So when you see Christ, that's the glory of God. Watch this, most importantly.
And the express image.
And the what?
And the express image.
Read.
Of his person.
Do you know what express image means?
Bring it out.
The express image is going to his carbon copy. Right. Exactly what God looks like, that's exactly what Christ looks like. Right. So go back to John 14. John chapter 14 again. Watch this.
John chapter 14 and verse 9.
Come on.
Jesus saith unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me have seen the Father.
That's why, because he's God's express image on earth.
Right.
So they look exactly alike. So now, going back to Ezekiel 28 and 2. You thought we forgot. We have not forgotten. We're still proving that Christianity is a lie. Because we're going to show you that God is a black man. We just did. But now we're going to show you who said they are God. Give me that in Ezekiel 28 and 2. Come on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
You see that? Who's saying they are God? Ding, 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 ding. Right. You see that? They're the ones who saying they God. It ain't us. It ain't us, bruh. We the ones who are guilty of worshiping this false God. Right. You see that, my brother? That's why I showed you. That's why I showed you Christianity not in the Bible, bro. Christianity is nothing more than white supremacy. That's all it is. Because they'll tell you what to do, but you can't find it in here.
Right. We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.